Welcome to Secrets of the Stars, where we explore the ancient knowledge of astrology, decode your unique blueprint, and unveil how the wisdom of the sky contributes to your life. I'm your host, Abby Lutis, astrologer, mentor, and sky guide. It's time to embark on a cosmic adventure of self-discovery and understanding why you are the way you are. Let's dive in. Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to Secrets of the Stars. I'm so excited to be in here with another episode for you, all about May's astrology. But before we jump in, I just wanted to give you a bit of a recap of what has been going on in my world. Life has been full, as I'm sure it has been for so many of you, with all these transits going through Pisces and Aries. There is a lot of concentrated energy in one spot, so that might be showing up in your life. And for me, the last month has been really full. As I was saying, I went over to the east coast of Australia, to the Gold Coast, and competed in the Masters Surf Life Saving Championships, where I won my beach flags event in my age category, which was so exciting. We also competed in the relay, and we placed fifth with a dropped baton, so that's pretty good considering we dropped the baton. The other thing that has been happening is that I've been settling in to a new home. I am no longer house sitting. I still have my van, which I will be using, but I now have a bit more of a permanent place to live, which I'm really enjoying. Quite a change, actually, for me, because I've been on the move quite a lot over the last several years. Now, the weather is cooling down here in Perth, but it's actually, in saying that, it is still really nice. It's May here it is April. We're heading into May. But I'm still in shorts and t-shirts, so I'm loving the weather over here on the West Coast. Now, I've been working on some new projects in my business, and one that you might have already seen is you can now get instant access to a copy of your natal chart from my website. You can download it, and there's also the ability to access your own natal chart reports, which I have personally set up. And all you have to do is go and enter your birth details, and you can access your natal chart report, the full report, or I also have a big 3 report in there, and there's definitely going to be some more coming. So go and check that out if you're interested in your own personal astrology. It's a great entrance. It's a great starting point to really starting to understand your chart, which I always say is the first step for learning astrology, is to learn your own chart. I've also been working on something that has been so close to my heart, and that's a tour that I am putting together for the solar eclipse next year, which is happening in Iceland. I tried to do this back a couple of years ago when we had a solar eclipse over on Ningaloo in Exmouth, and I was a little bit late to the party. So this one is coming together, and I'm so excited. If you're interested in going to Iceland to see the solar eclipse, amongst many other things, we'll be going to thermal pools, waterfalls, black sand beaches. I am just so excited for this tour. It'll be happening in August 2026, so we can see the eclipse. Please, please, please reach out. I'll put some details in the show notes, and you can follow the links in there. And I've also been doing an interview project, so if this is might be something interesting to you as well. I'm speaking to women that are interested in astrology, and they feel like there might be something more to life than what they're currently doing or the way they are currently living. They know that they want to sort of step into the next version of themselves. I'm just getting an idea of what these women are wanting in their lives. And I'm collecting all this information for some new offers that I am wanting to get started with. So it's been a lot. I am recording this as the moon is waning in Pisces. The moon loves being in Pisces. So let's hope that this brings beautiful energy to this episode. And we're approaching a new moon in Taurus, a really nice new moon in Taurus, actually. So I really am looking forward to that one. We're also approaching a Venus Saturn conjunction, which is happening tomorrow. This is going to bring a lot of stability when it comes to relationships, values, love, money into our lives. So, taking a look back on April's astrology, it was really interesting that there was a lot of action going on in Aries and Pisces, but Aries for me personally was activating the house of home, family, parents, and this was certainly playing out in my life, having just moved into a new place. I actually haven't really lived permanently anywhere for around about 4 years. So this is quite a bit of a change for me. So I feel like that's what April's astrology and all this energy moving through Aries has been for me. And I'd love to hear how it's shown up for you. So please come over to Instagram and send me a DM and let me know where in your life all this energy has been showing up for you. Now, let's look into May. And I'm saying that May is a month of sparks and shifts and surprises because one thing that I want to say about May is there is a lot of sextiles and trines happening, which is really nice energy coming off all this intense eclipses and big shifts that we've had over the last few months. So, sextiles I'm getting tongue-tied. Sextiles are harmonious and opportunistic energy where when you put in a little bit of effort, you can really see the results. You can see the flow and you can see the alignment. And trines, I would even say, are more harmonious. But the thing about trines is they're perhaps more of a natural flow where you may not have to put in as that little effort. But with the sextiles, which we're seeing a lot of this month, you just put in a little bit of effort and you see the magic unfold. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what this month brings. Now, in saying all of that, May does start off on Thursday, and we're coming off very much this raw intensity of Mars squaring Pluto, which is all about power plays. It's about competitive combativeness. It's about deep drive and really a battle of wills. And this Mars square Pluto has actually been going on since the beginning of November. We saw this happen then we had Mars go retrograde. We saw it again at the beginning of January, and now we're seeing it again here as now Mars is direct and meeting up with Pluto again. So we also have Venus moving into Aries basically on the start of the month. So that's a really full on energy that we start the month off with. And the very first thing, and I might even pull up the chart here to show you what is going on at the start of the month here, because I think it's always really good to see it and for those watching along on the video. So we can see here that we have all of this energy in Aries and Venus moves into Aries here as well. The thing about Venus in Aries is she doesn't particularly like being in Aries. We had a little bit of this transit before Venus went retrograde, but ultimately it will be sparking some desires, maybe some desires that we had once came into our awareness back in February. But the divine feminine, as we call Venus, is going to be in unfamiliar territory. She doesn't like being in Aries, as I mentioned. She can feel hot and bothered, and she just doesn't have the tools to do her job properly. She's not at her best here. This could be the energy that is needed, however, to help us give that little bit of push to step into our desires and dreams and to take action and to harness that little bit of spice and that little bit of uncomfortableness that we have here. And that's what Aries can do. It can bring this initiating action, and we're going to see Saturn move into Aries. And if there are things that are starting in your life, things that are, you're just boldly stepping into, this is probably where Aries is activating your personal chart. So there is a lot still happening in Aries as we see the planets begin to move into Taurus and Gemini. over the month of May. So that is how things start off. Just 2 days later, Venus meets up with Neptune for a third and final time in this cycle. Now, this has happened twice before, back at the start and the end of March. So you want to look for themes that were going on then. And this is a really nice transit, but it will be different than those past meetups, because this one is happening in Aries. So you could experience this wave of inspiration, right? And it could be around self-expression, it could be around relationships or love. Now, these planets are very similar in nature. Venus is the planet responsible for values, pleasure, love, and Neptune is associated with creativity and spirituality and illusions and mystery, I suppose. So you can see how that energy, the creativeness, is tied in, and the connectiveness is tied in with these two planets. So this energy could be a dreamy day, but it could also be a day to step into your dreams, light that fire underneath you that you need to actually step up and out into the world. I think it's a time that you want to be following the things that bring you joy, no matter how far-fetched they seem. I think that's what this with Neptune in Aries, it's about really going for your dreams and desires. So I hope that you are doing that as we kick off the month. Now, the second week, I think, is going to be a little bit more uplifting, a little bit of heavy energy in that first week of May. But the second week is going to be a bit more enjoyable than recent times that we've been moving through. We've got some really nice transit. And it starts off on the 5th with Pluto stationing retrograde, which actually ends all the planets in direct motion. We have but Pluto in retrograde, it's only going to have an undertone of energy. Pluto is the furthest planet from us here on Earth, and so the impacts of Pluto are perhaps not necessarily as felt as much as some of the closer planets that we have to us. So there is still this beautiful energy of moving forward, but for the next 5.5 months, Pluto will be in retrograde through Aquarius, and this is a time to focus on deep-seated desires, patterns of behavior, even fears. It could be a time of questioning authority or challenging the status quo, but more in an internal way, like what is really brewing within you. Aquarius is about collective change, and so what is Pluto activating inside you to help go about and change in the world? So while this energy is likely to impact the masses as opposed to you personally, you can think about how you're being challenged to step into your power, or to look into the depths of yourself and see what is actually hidden and what might be holding you back in these areas of your life. Then on Tuesday, we start with these beautiful harmonious alignments. So the 6th, we see Mercury making a sextile to Jupiter, which, well, I say with sextiles, a little bit of effort, you'll be able to see this abundant energy coming in. And with Jupiter, it's really opportunistic. Blissful conversations are likely to flow with ease. There might be opportunities dropping in from certain conversations that you're having. You might receive a message, an email, good news coming in somewhere. It's a good day to be planning a trip or embarking on a short getaway. This will bring abundant, happy feelings and happy vibes into your energy and into your sphere. Then on Wednesday, we see Venus make a sextile to Pluto. This is on the 7th. And this could be a time where you might just get a little bit of a push forward. Maybe you've been trying to work on transforming a relationship, or working to move something forward that uses feminine energy. So leaning into the art of receiving. Perhaps you're rewriting money beliefs. You might be rewriting values in your relationship. So today could feel like you have a breakthrough in this space, and like you've taken steps forward. But again, you have to have that little bit of effort. So you could find yourself moving into a fresh space. So celebrate the small things that come in today. Bask in that beautiful flow of life that is happening. Also today, on the 7th, Mercury makes a conjunction to Chiron. As we know, Chiron Chiron represents the wounded healer, and Mercury the messenger. So this could help us be breaking challenging cycles through inspiration or inner guidance that we're seeing coming through. So there might be something that you want to tune into you that comes from an internal place, from your intuition. I always think Mercury can kind of help activate those messages that are coming from that space, but also from people and conversations and communication in our world. What are the things that are coming up? Maybe what are the areas that you might need to address if there are wounds or traumas or challenges that you are trying to break? Then on Saturday, the 10th, Mercury enters Taurus. Mercury entering Taurus, we're starting to see more energy move into Taurus and more energy separate from all this collective energy being in Aries and Pisces. So this transit could help with grounding and calmness to our minds. All right, we've had a lot of fast-paced energy happening, and it could allow for like you to clear out space, get organized with your thought process, and you might find yourself taking time to carefully consider decisions before making them, rather than making them on a dime. Mercury in Taurus is patient, it's methodical, it has an eye for detail, so it's a day where you can apply those things in your life and really lean into those finer things and not have to feel like you're in a rush. So that pretty much takes us to the end of the second week. And the energy is heating up again in the third week of May. And first of all, I want to show you because this week starts off with the full moon, and we have a full moon in Scorpio. And this really, I always think with Scorpio moons is that they can feel a little bit eclipsy. So I want to show you here. I'm just pulling up my chart and I'll share my screen with you. So I want to show you this full moon here, and we have the moon in Scorpio here at 22 degrees, making an opposition to the sun in Taurus. That's how we have full moons, is when the sun is completely shining all its light on the moon. So I say that this full moon is eclipsy because it is in Scorpio. Firstly, the moon is in detriment in Scorpio. It doesn't like to be there. And so this can feel very deep and intense. Like with Venus moving into Aries, the moon doesn't have the tools to do its job properly. So that's why I say it could be quite intense. It could be quite a lot. Now, this moon is ruled by Mars here, which is over in Leo. So it's going to be very loud. It's going to be very look at me type energy. All right. Mars is making a trine with Venus, so that could be a really nice part of the moon. There could be some passion involved in this full moon. The other things that are going on here, though, is we have the sun with Uranus, and Uranus is that planet that is dynamic. It's can be about things changing on a dime, unexpected things happening, and that tying into this energy, I think it's going to make it very intense. Now, the modern ruler of this moon is Pluto here over in Aquarius. And Pluto is making a square to Mercury. So that is going to be a little bit intense. So this moon could be an emotional high point. In fact, I think it will be an emotional high point. It's going to be intense, illuminating. It's going to be ripe for release. If there's something that you need to let go, this is the time. All right. It's going to ask us to face our truths, and it's going to bring up anything that's been hidden, anything that is not on the surface for us to see, especially when it comes to relationships, intimacy, or even control. All right. So with Pluto there making that tense aspect with Mercury, you want to be mindful of power struggles and even obsessive thinking. Mercury can get us into our mind, and Pluto is responsible for the power struggles there. So you just want to take very, very good care on this moon. I think it's going to be quite dynamic and quite intense energy. So we'll see how that all plays out for everyone. Now, I mentioned briefly that Mercury is squaring the moon, so that's adding to that intensity, as I said. It could feel like you're going through a transformative time. You want to watch your words. You could have the tendency to speak before you think. And you just want to take care not to be too critical in your mind. Watch the stories that you're telling yourself. We can so easily bring ourselves down, but, that moon might emphasize that as well. Instead, try journaling, write out the things that are on your mind. It might make this transit a little bit more easy for you. So then on Sunday, that moon is at the start of the week on the Tuesday, and then we don't have anything really until Sunday when we see the sun make that conjunction to Uranus. This is the 18th. So I sort of talked about that with regards to the moon, but the sun and Uranus, you could expect changes, unexpected things coming, chaos today. It could be both exciting but also challenging. It could bring new opportunities, it could bring new experiences, but it's like a disruption. Things might not feel stable and in flow or in routine, but you want to embrace these changes and experiences because you never know what is going to come from them. And you want to be mindful of what is arising, of the challenges that you're facing. And I think with awareness and intention, you can make this transit feel like positive change in your life and gain a greater understanding of yourself and where you are in the world. All right. We want to be able to flow a little bit and not be so stable. But with this happening in Taurus, it could feel quite fixed. The other thing that happens on the 18th, there's two other transits. We see Mercury squaring Mars, and this could add to this day of unexpectedness. So, as I said, you want to watch your tongue. There's a lot of hot, heavy energy that we might be feeling like we need to come out and speak it. You might communicate with anger or aggression or hot-headedness. So take the time to think before you speak when we have this Mars and Mercury in a tense aspect. You could feel mentally drained, you could feel frustrated or angry, and things are going to feel fast. So be careful. You don't want to get a speeding fine. Be careful with physical injury or even mental burnout. You might feel a lot of mental pressure, and a lot of that is building up and it's trying to get out. So you want to move your body to funnel this energy out of you. Now, one thing that does happen on the 18th is Jupiter makes a sextile to Chiron. And this is perhaps a more harmonious energy, although it does involve Chiron, the wounded healer. But I think there is a gentle invitation for you to heal wounds, all right? That's why we need to be so careful with that energy of Mercury and Mars and the Sun and Uranus to be watching our words. But really, you want to think about how you can heal your wounds, how you can break through from the cycles. There are opportunities today. This aspect could provide a chance to grow a little bit by addressing those past hurts in more of a supportive way, rather than it being so overwhelming. Now, embrace this healing energy, please, because this day could also be quite tense and challenging, and it could just be the compassion and expansion that you need on this day. It's a great time to integrate lessons from your experience and then use that to fuel your journey toward greater abundance and well-being, personal well-being. So the fourth and final weeks of May, I think, will bring some light energy. That third week is a bit of a intense one, but these fourth and final weeks have a bit more fun, a bit more harmony that we'll see as we close out the month. And we start on the 20th, Tuesday the 20th, with the Sun making a sextile to Saturn. So this is a bit more of a smoother flow with enhanced joy around your personal identity, being able to enhance your personal boundaries, being able to practice discipline might just feel that little bit easier, all right? Especially if it's around activities that are around highlighting your personal strengths and your personal qualities. So there's a strong sense of vitality, and you could just get a really good grasp on time management today if you're feeling like lately things have been crazy. I think it's a great day to mature into that and have an enlightened outlook. Then on Wednesday, we see Gemini season beginning on the 21st with the sun moving into Gemini. And this is going to light up your social life potentially. You might feel more inclined to connect with friends or being a bit more social, more communicative. That's what Mercury brings out. Mercury is mutable air. So it wants us to speak and connect with other people. It's an energy of fun loving vibes, flirtation, and playfulness. Gemini season is when ideas spark in our intellect, and our intellect is very strong. So think about what is coming up and what things want your attention. The thing you want to watch out for is the overwhelm and the mental chatter, anxiety, overthinking. This is common with Gemini energy. So your mind could be racing, it could be on autopilot and no slowing down here as the sun and all the planets start to move into Gemini. Then on the Thursday, the 22nd, we have a beautiful trine between Venus and Mars. And this transit, I've talked about it because we've had it a few times at the start of this year, but now both of these planets are in direct motion. So it could likely be heightening sexual appeal or sexual energy or sexual appetite. You could feel an awakening towards something or something that you're attracted to. And you could just feel this strong desire to take action towards the things that you truly value, the things that you truly love. You'll feel a sense of drive and ambition that is awakening within you and the things that you love. It's a great transit for money. It's a great time for motivation to flow naturally, and you'll be able to put in that work. Also on the 22nd, we have another beautiful aspect happening or transit happening, I should say, where the sun is making a sextile to Neptune. So again, this is a beautiful, light, easy energy. And with sextiles, as I say, it's that little bit of effort could turn it into very much a dreamy day, flowing and very expressive. Neptune can help us tap into our creativity, into our spirituality and our talents. And then the sun just illuminates that further. So flow with any creative flair that's coming through, any imagination, ideas that are coming up, especially with the sun in Jupiter. There could be lots of ideas coming up, and you'll be able to act on them with Neptune here in Aries to get them started. Enjoy this beautiful, beautiful day. It's like magic, mystery, listening to music, being by the water, in particular, being by the ocean, will help strengthen this energy with Neptune involved. Then on Sunday, the 25th, the sun makes a trine to Pluto. And here we go with all these sextiles and trines. This could be around ease when it comes to transformation and empowerment. You might feel like you can unearth what needs attention from within you because Pluto is in retrograde. And you might feel clarity around a transformation that is occurring. So there might be a little bit of ease when it comes to this, a little bit of insight that will drop in. Now, Pluto is well and truly in its journey through Aquarius, so you might be able to see the themes that are coming up and how they're applying to you with Pluto in Aquarius, and with the sun making a trine. Just embrace this narrative that is unfolding here. Also on the 25th, Mercury comes up and makes a conjunction with Uranus. The 25th is quite a charged day, I must say. There's lots going on. Now, we saw this happen with the Sun conjuncting Uranus earlier in the month, and now it's Mercury's time. So now this is the time where their energies blend together because they're at the same place in the sky. Now, Uranus could be said to be the higher octave of Mercury, meaning that this could be exciting. It could be a dynamic time intellectually and mentally, but also with our nervous system, because Mercury and Uranus are responsible. So you want to take care with that. There could be sudden insights, ideas, inspiring ideas, flashes of inspiration that come up, that come out of nowhere. You don't really know. I think it's a time to be deeper connected with our intuitive experiences. So really feel into the things that are going on as we come to the end of the month. There's potential for advancements in technological innovation, or you might even just feel some ease around that, or even some difficulty with the conjunction. Socially, it's dynamic, it's fast paced. And as I said, it's the time when unexpected things happen. But it's also the time when we can embrace our uniqueness as well. So remember, too, that unexpectedness is not necessarily bad, and change is not necessarily bad when we speak about Uranus. So the final thing that happens on the 25th, and this is, I said this last month about Neptune moving into Aries, but this is when Saturn moves into Aries on the 25th, another one of the biggest moves of this year. And it's beginning a new long-term chapter of self-leadership and accountability when it comes to maturity and really sort of stepping up into an area of your life. It's an invitation to take that next big step seriously and sustainably. This energy could be around constructing new paths, focusing on independence or leadership, and taking bold steps in creating lasting structures into the future. Saturn can test our impulsiveness, and it's going to encourage disciplined action and promoting patience as well. So Saturn in Aries will be very interesting. I don't think it's going to be the easiest of energies, but we'll see how things unfold. Saturn is generally here to teach us lessons. So it's going to give you a new area of your life that you're looking to really figure out if there's something for you to learn here. So watch for what unfolds as Saturn moves through Aries for quite a few months of this year. Then the final week of May starts on Monday, the 26th, and we see Mercury enter into Gemini. And now we're starting to see all these planets move into Gemini, and that's where we're seeing all these sextiles occur. This is great because Mercury is at home in Gemini. It likes being in Gemini. It does have the tools to do its job. It could be an amazing time for connecting, getting out with your friends, having clear, open, honest conversations, and lots of ideas flying around. As I said, this Gemini energy is going to activate the mind. It's going to activate our intellect. It's going to be a time where this is very strong. You want to lean into that playful side of Gemini as well. It can be very fun-loving. But as I said earlier, with the sun moving there, it can foster this overthinking, this anxiousness. And a really great way to combat this is to use breath work, because Gemini also rules the lungs. And when you slow down your breathing, this can really help get you out of your head and into your body if you're finding that anxiousness build up. Also on the 26th, Mercury makes the sextile to Saturn because Saturn has just moved into Aries. So, you want to consider time. This could feel restrictive, although it's a sextile. So you want to put in a little bit of effort and you might get the result. This harmonious transit could show you that that in time, with boundaries, you can find focus and clarity. You can speak with authority, maturity, and with conviction as well to get the desired outcome that you want. If there's important conversations that need to be had, especially if it's with your boss or a superior, today is a great day for that. Then on Tuesday, the 27th, Mercury makes a sextile to Neptune. So this energy is a bit more dreamy. It's a bit more creative and expressive. Neptune can dissolve the boundaries while Mercury communicates through ideas. So conversations could flow with a bit of creativeness, a bit of imagination. So let yourself enjoy this magic that this transit could bring in, and express your creative side as well. I always say that with Neptune. And the other thing with Neptune is that it's okay if things feel a lot, then you can escape for a little bit. I think escaping can be just as healthy for us as it can be challenging. So it depends on the reasons and why that you are escaping, but it can be a time where you need to do that. Also on the 27th, the moon moves into Gemini. And so this gives us a Gemini stellium for the next few days. So this Gemini energy will be really concentrated. This one only lasts for a few days. So we have the sun, Mercury, Jupiter, and now the moon. The moon with that 4 planets in there really makes that the stellium So that mutable air energy is going to be highlighted. It's a great day for socializing, spending time, and connecting with your social circles. We also have the Gemini New Moon, and let me show you on the chart here what that is going to look like. I'll just pull it up. Here on my chart, but I think this is going to be a really nice moon. I really love new moons. If you hadn't already sort of picked that up about me, I mean, I was born on a full moon, so that's really interesting. But I think new moons they just bring a beautiful freshness. And let's have a look. So here we see this beautiful new moon here happening at 6 degrees Gemini, with all these planets in all those planets in Gemini, ruled by Mercury. Mercury is approaching a conjunction with the sun, which means it's under the beam. So that could mean that things might not be clear. So if you're setting intentions around what you want to call in, especially if it comes to your social circles and your social life, how to interact with others, or even ideas, opportunities, the way that you communicate, things could be dropping in, but there might not be clarity, right? So, Gemini also sees that polarity, both ends of the spectrum, right? So again, things might not exactly be clear. So that will all come when Mercury makes the conjunction with the sun. So allow yourself to be curious about what's coming up and the intentions that you're setting, but know that the clarity might take a few days here until Mercury comes in close with the sun and really makes a conjunction to the sun. So that's the beautiful new moon that we have in Gemini. Then to finish off the month, Mercury makes a trine to Pluto, and that happens on Wednesday, the 28th. This one might feel a little easier on the mind. It can help you feel empowered. It's a time where you can feel strong, and your mental chatter can feel strong. But again, it's that flowing energy, right? So this could happen, and you might not even realize that it's applying to you. So you just might feel more empowered, and you might just feel like you're a bit more self-confident, I suppose. Now, Pluto represents transformation, which is not always easy. So there might be karma that is coming up that needs to be cleared, but ultimately this energy is in flow. It's a flowing energy with the trine here, so it might not be too difficult. Then to finish off the month on Friday the 30th, the sun makes a conjunction to Mercury, and we end the month with a Mercury cazimi, and this is where the planet resides, in the heart of the sun. Mercury steps into this beautiful space, and it's really being purified with the sun's solar brilliance. The sun shines right on Mercury, which highlights its qualities. So this is when the mind becomes clear. It's when we find focus, and things can be effortless. Things like communication or words can just flow out of us. It's a great time for writing, a great time for ideas. You want to enjoy this aligned time and really align your energy. So by journaling, you'll be able to do that by connecting into the depths or the realizations that you're having. It's really a beautiful moment when planets move through cazimi at the start of the sun, because in the middle of the sun, I should say, because it's just that really purifying energy. So the qualities of that planet will be really clear and very focused as well. So that is May. I hope you have enjoyed this episode. Now, remember, if you want to pick up your report, come to my website, and I can come and get your natal chart, and that will guide you on to where you can get your reports, and they download instantly. I'm so proud of these reports that are coming out. I'm so excited. So come and get a report, or even just get your natal chart. If you're interested in coming to Iceland for the total solar eclipse, come and see me as well. Drop into my DMs, let me know. There's only going to be 9 spaces, and I think they're going to fill up really fast. You can also come and connect with me on socials, book a reading at my website. I really hope that you have enjoyed this episode. I hope things are going well in your life. Drop in and let me know how April went and how you enjoyed this episode, and have the most amazing month. I hope May is good to you, and enjoy this energy of May. Thank you for joining me on this cosmic journey of self-discovery. If you have enjoyed this episode, please leave a review and share it with someone who you think would love it. Keep exploring the secrets of the stars, and remember, the universe has woven a unique story just for you. Until next time, keep shining bright.